Babes, welcome back. We love you. We see you. And we've got rum punch on deck because if Orange County is serving luxury and petty drama, we're matching the energy.
Oh, we are absolutely matching it. And honestly, considering the sheer psychological warfare we are about to unpack today, a heavy pour of rum is basically a medical necessity.
Literally. I am already spiraling. But wait, before we even get into the Orange County chaos, we need to address something that has been tearing us apart off mic.
Oh boy, here we go.
No, I am bringing it to you, the Snark Squad, right now, because I need validation. It is the great fresh flower debate.
Listen, it's not a debate. It's just a fundamental law of interior design. Fresh flowers instantly make a home feel expensive.
Absolutely not. I literally cannot handle this take. I completely disagree.
I mean, you walk into a room, you see a stunning, structurally complex floral arrangement, like maybe some hydrangeas mixed with eucalyptus.
Oh, the eucalyptus.
Right. It just signals wealth. It signals stability. It tells people you have the disposable income and the, executive function to care for something purely for its aesthetic value.
Okay, but they are beautiful for exactly 2 days, and then they are just expensive sadness.
Expensive sadness.
Yes. You buy them, you put them in a pristine glass vase, and then by Wednesday, the water is murky and gross.
Well, that's just poor maintenance.
No, the petals are dropping all over the kitchen counter, and you are literally just watching something slowly die in your home. It's depressing.
You're being so incredibly dramatic right now. You're exposing your own lack of domestic discipline.
Excuse me. Domestic discipline.
Yeah. It's a science. You have to cut the stems on a sharp angle, babes, to maximize the water absorption.
I'm not doing arts and crafts with my foliage.
And you have to use the little packet, the glucose and bactericide packet they tape to the plastic.
Okay, but who actually remembers to change the water? I am trying to keep myself alive in this economy.
It takes 2 seconds.
I have to feed my dog. I have to, remember to hydrate my own body. I have to respond to Slack messages. I am not setting an alarm to curate the hydration levels of a grocery store bouquet.
Well, see, there's your first mistake. Grocery store bouquets.
What's wrong with a grocery store?
If you're buying those neon-dyed carnations shoved next to the gossip magazines at checkout, of course it's giving expensive sadness.
Very convenient.
I'm talking about a bespoke florist-level moment. And if you truly can't handle the basic maintenance of living flora, I will argue that high-end fake flowers have quietly become elite.
Fake flowers? Are you actually kidding me right now? Let me stop you right there.
I'm serious. Not the plastic ones from the 90s craft store, but the silk ones. The hand-painted botanicals.
You know what fake flowers actually do? They collect dust.
Not if you clean them.
They are magnets for airborne particulate matter. You walk into someone's house, you look closely at this supposedly luxurious silk peony, and it looks like it has a gray fur coat.
That is disgusting.
I am spiraling over the dust. It's a trap. You buy them to feel like a main character in a Nancy Meyers movie, and you end up as a maid to a plastic stem, hitting it with a Swiffer duster every single Sunday.
Which is why you just maintain the illusion of luxury through rigorous cleaning is all an aesthetic performance.
It's exhausting, is what it is.
Speaking of romanticizing your life and clinging to highly specific bougie aesthetics, can we pivot to the fact that wax seals are making an aggressive comeback?
Oh my God, yes. I am so obsessed with this.
I mean, you would be.
I am fully romanticizing this trend. I am literally one stationary purchase away from becoming a full Victorian woman just brooding at a mahogany desk.
Please don't buy a mahogany desk.
There's something so incredibly dramatic and tactile about it. Melting actual wax over an open flame.
It's a fire hazard.
Watching it pool onto the paper and then stamping your family crest into it, or, like a generic cursive letter I got on Amazon. It's thrilling.
Let's bring this back to reality for a second and analyze the psychology here.
Go ahead, ruin my Victorian fantasy.
The danger is that you are taking what should be a simple 3-sentence thank you card and turning it into a full-blown theatrical production that takes 45 minutes.
It's called effort.
You're lighting candles, you're dripping hot magma onto an envelope, you're inevitably burning your index finger.
Okay, that happened once.
And you're worrying about the postal sorting machines crushing the wax, all to say thanks for the Target gift card. It is the ultimate overcomplication of modern life.
But it feels elegant. We live in a digital age where everything is a quick text or a react emoji or just a completely soulless email.
That's true. Emails are soulless.
Right. So a wax seal is a physical interruption to all that noise. It says, I paused my fast-paced life, I harnessed the primal power of fire, and I crafted this missive specifically for you.
Harnessing the primal power of fire to say thanks for a gift card.
Babes, if it has a wax seal, I'm opening it immediately. It commands respect.
You're opening it immediately because you're terrified there's a subpoena inside or like a decree from a medieval king. No one uses a wax seal casually.
Whatever, it's gorgeous.
But I will analyze this broader trend. Like, is physical mail actually having a cultural moment right now?
I think it totally is.
Because the etiquette of a handwritten thank you note versus a text message is actively shifting. I think people are genuinely craving slower, more thoughtful traditions again.
We really are. We are so chronically overstimulated by screens and notifications all day.
Exactly. Getting a physical piece of mail that isn't a utility bill or a jury duty summons actually feels like a monumental event.
It really does. I get so emotional about birthday cards that actually mean something now.
Oh, same.
When you open your physical mailbox, which is usually just a receptacle for dread, and there's a beautifully chosen, heavy cardstock envelope with someone's actual handwriting on it.
The cardstock is key. If it's flimsy, I don't want it.
Right. It proves you exist in the physical world. It proves someone thought of you outside of an algorithmic Facebook reminder. It is pure excitement.
Tangible excitement, sure, it engages the senses. But let's talk about things that are tangible and highly questionable.
Oh no, where are we going?
Which brings us to the most chaotic investigation we have ever conducted on this show. The absolute spiral of Temu jewelry.
Oh my God. Listen, do not judge me.
The juxtaposition of craving high-end physical traditions while simultaneously buying fast fashion jewelry is fascinating to me.
I went down the rabbit hole late one night. Okay. It is an unnecessary, highly chaotic, totally overstimulating digital environment on that app.
It's a sensory overload.
But I admit it, I have found surprisingly cute pieces for almost nothing. You order a ring just because it looks absolutely identical to a $500 designer piece.
And it costs, what, $3?
Literally $3.
It is the absolute gamble of the century. You are playing Russian roulette with your epidermis.
It's flying.
You're importing mystery metal. Will it survive a single wear? Will it immediately dissolve upon contact with the humidity in the air?
Okay, it doesn't dissolve.
Will it interact with your body chemistry to create a completely new element on the periodic table? You are putting unregulated alloys directly onto your skin.
It's the thrill of the chase. Yes, I acknowledge there is the inevitable heartbreak of a ring turning your finger aggressive. Shrek green by 2 p.m.
Shrek green is generous. It's like toxic waste green.
You take it off to wash your hands and you look like you're mutating into the Hulk. It requires scrubbing with industrial soap.
Exactly.
But when it hits, when you get that one magical piece that actually feels heavy, doesn't tarnish immediately, and catches the light perfectly, it's a high.
Babes, sometimes it's giving luxury. Sometimes it's giving mystery metal.
Literally so true.
You are risking contact dermatitis for the sake of a cubic zirconia tennis bracelet that costs less than a latte.
I am willing to take that dermatological risk for the Snark Squad.
It is the ultimate illusion of wealth, which, frankly, is the perfect bridge to our main topic today.
Yes. But babes, enough about rum punch, flower feuds, dramatic wax seals, nostalgic mail, and Temu jewelry investigations.
Let's go.
Let's head to Orange County, where somebody's about to hold a grudge longer than a handwritten letter takes to arrive.
That transition is honestly perfect because the level of delusion, the financial hypocrisy, and just the sheer unadulterated petty grudges in this episode,
Unmatched.
it belongs in the Smithsonian. The mask of luxury is slipping, and we are seeing the mystery metal underneath.
Oh, that was a good callback.
Thank you. We have to start immediately with the post-Vegas fallout, which features intravenous therapy as a backdrop for psychological warfare.
Let me set the scene, because emotionally, I am still recovering from this visual.
It was a lot to process.
It's the post-Vegas The Thief hangout with Vicki, Tamra, and Emily. They are sitting in this sterile, bright white room with needles in their arms, trying to rehydrate.
From God knows what toxins.
Right. And Tamra walks in and casually carrying fried chicken.
Specifically, fried chicken from a regional fast food chain, which she brings into a pseudo-medical wellness treatment center.
Make it make sense.
We really need to analyze this. The juxtaposition of injecting highly concentrated vitamins and saline directly into your bloodstream to achieve health.
Air quotes around health.
Right, while simultaneously gnawing on a deep-fried, breaded chicken tender, dripping in dipping sauce.
It's so chaotic.
It is the most beautifully chaotic, distinctly American image I have ever seen on television. It perfectly encapsulates the reality TV approach to wellness. fix the symptom with a needle, completely ignore the root cause.
It gets so much worse, though.
Oh, I know.
Vicki is sitting there, actively chewing on this chicken. And out of nowhere, she brings up her ex, Brooks.
Of course she does.
She literally says, with a mouthful of food, Brooks would have loved this Mississippi chicken.
Unprompted. Totally unprompted.
And the editors, who deserve an Emmy, a Peabody, and just a Nobel Peace Prize right now, they immediately flash back to that grotesque, open-mouthed, sweaty kiss between Vicki and Brooks from years ago.
It was a jump scare. Why did we need to see that? I was eating my own dinner while watching this. It was an absolute visual assault.
The editors are the real villains, and we love them for their ruthlessness. They know that Brooks is the ultimate trigger warning for the audience.
It worked. I was triggered. But let's analyze Vicki's medical update here, because the chicken is just a distraction from the real delusion. Vicki casually claims her, quote, spike protein is at 2,800.
2,800. What does that even mean?
It means nothing.
She says it's causing severe brain fog and making her call Carmella the wrong name.
Oh my God.
She is actively blaming her inability or her stubborn refusal to remember a new cast member's name on a viral spike protein migrating to her brain. The audacity.
It's honestly a masterclass in dodging accountability using fabricated medical jargon. Let's break down the psychology of the spike protein excuse.
You do.
Vicki is utilizing a highly politicized pseudoscientific buzzword to absolve herself of bad manners.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't insult you by forgetting your name. My internal virology is just compromised.
It's incredible.
It elevates the standard I forgot into a medical crisis where she is somehow the victim.
She always has to be the victim. But the real meat of this scene isn't the fried chicken or the fake medical jargon.
No, it's the plotting.
It is the calculated strategic assassination of Heather Dubrow's character. Tamra, smelling blood in the water like the apex reality TV predator she is, decides this is the exact moment to drop a bomb.
Tamra is operating purely on a producer level here. Let's look at the mechanics of this scene.
She is working so hard for that paycheck.
She knows the fans might be getting fatigued by the Vegas trip drama. She knows they need a new anchor for the conflict, so she masterfully orchestrates a takedown.
She fully stirs the pot. She reveals that Heather called Carmella trashy looking off camera.
Right.
She exposes the fact that Heather comforted Carmella in Vegas when she was crying, playing the supportive friend, but behind her back, Heather was acting like Carmella didn't belong on the show because of her aesthetic.
It's classic Housewives duplicity.
And then Vicki chimes in, complaining that Heather acts like the head of the troops.
Which, I mean, she kind of does.
I am passionately defending Heather here. I am planting my flag right now. These women are just wildly jealous of her main character energy.
I think that...
Yes. Heather is the moment. She brings the actual wealth to the show, and they literally cannot handle it.
But is it simply jealousy? Or is Heather actually a hypocritical Beverly Hills snob who is slumming it in Orange County and deeply resents it?
She's not slumming it, she's elevating it.
Let's look at the facts of the behavior. Heather did comfort Carmella on camera, looking like the benevolent, empathetic matriarch. Great optics.
Totally.
But off camera, in the shadows, she's calling her crashy and implying she doesn't fit the socioeconomic profile of the group. That is undeniably duplicitous.
Okay.
And Tamra knows exactly how to weaponize that duplicity. She drops the trashy comment perfectly into the laps of Emily and Vicki, lighting the fuse and stepping back to watch the explosion.
But Heather is operating on a totally different level. She goes to the completely empty, pristine Oppenheim group office to look at luxury real estate for her daughter.
The Selling Sunset crossover we didn't ask for.
She's literally playing in a completely different tax bracket. Of course, she thinks the rest of them are a little trashy. Have you seen what they wear to dinner?
Fair point on the fashion.
The cutouts, the neon. But I hate a gang up. I hate when they all collectively decide to take down the one person who actually has wealth just because they have nothing else going on in their own storylines.
Speaking of having absolutely nothing going on, financially speaking,
Oh, no.
we need to transition to a situation that makes Heather's wealth look even more staggering by comparison. Because while Tamra is morally bankrupting her friendships, Shannon Beador is literally going broke.
Oh my God, the tonal shift from the sterile IV drip room to Shannon's sprawling rented house for a financial intervention with Vicki, it was whiplash-inducing.
I cannot cope with this scene.
I'm still spiraling just thinking about the numbers they discussed. Shannon actively seeks out financial advice from Vicki.
Vicki, who proudly announces she checks her bank statements daily like it's a religious practice.
Yes. And they sit down at the dining table with a literal printed worksheet to go over Shannon's spending habits. Babes, The budget breakdown is completely shocking.
It's not just a budget review, it's a forensic audit of profound financial delusion.
Let's talk about the Ubers.
Let's analyze the raw data they presented because it reveals the terrifying reality of lifestyle inflation.
Shannon Beador spends $3,000 a month on Ubers.
It's staggering.
$3,000. Where on earth is she going? Is she taking an Uber Black from her living room to her kitchen?
Probably.
Is she Ubering to San Francisco for a casual lunch? How do you physically manage to spend $3,000 a month on ride shares?
Well, let's look at the underlying mechanics. Considering her recent, highly publicized legal issues regarding driving.
Oh, right, the legal issues.
The Ubers are a logistical necessity right now. She cannot legally drive herself in certain situations.
But $3,000.
Exactly. The exorbitant cost implies a total refusal to downgrade her lifestyle to match her reality. She isn't taking an Uber X in a standard sedan.
No, she wants the premium SUV.
She is likely demanding those premium SUVs to maintain the illusion of VIP status while navigating the sprawling, isolated geography of Orange County.
It's wild. And it gets exponentially worse when they reach the housing line item on that spreadsheet.
Oh, the rent.
She's paying $10,500 a month in rent.
Not a mortgage.
Right. Not a mortgage that builds equity and provides a financial safety net.
Hmm.
Pure rent. $10,500 just thrown into the wind every 30 days.
And why is she renting? Because she sunk all of her liquid capital into her real-for-real food line.
I completely forgot that food line even existed.
Everyone did, which is why it completely tanked and had to be shut down.
Who is buying frozen salmon burgers from a housewife? It was such a bad investment.
Terrible investment.
And Vicki is so savage during this entire exchange. She looks at this piece of paper, calculates the ruin, looks Shannon dead in the eye, and just flatly, coldly says, "It's not in your budget."
Vicki is at her absolute, undisputed best when she is operating in her capacity as an insurance mogul and financial dictator.
It really is.
She strips away all the emotional coddling. She even manages to shade Shannon for having renter's insurance, but not going through Kodo insurance to procure it.
That was amazing.
It's brilliant cross-promotion wrapped in an insult. Like, you're broke, your life is a mess, and also, why didn't you buy my product to protect your rented belongings?
Always be closing. But let's psychoanalyze Shannon's current state for a second, because she has become a complete reality TV caricature of her former self.
Oh, completely. The devolution is staggering.
The bright green top of the morning St. Patrick's Day outfit she was wearing during this.
The leprechaun suit.
Yes. Why is a grown woman dressed like a novelty leprechaun for a serious financial meeting?
To distract from the numbers.
And her dog, Troy, who is just absolute unmitigated chaos on a leash, destroying the house while they talk about her lack of funds.
Rest in peace to Archie, we miss a legend.
Truly a legend. But Troy is out of control and perfectly mirrors Shannon's internal state right now.
Shannon is operating under a severe case of Stockholm Syndrome for the Bravo network. Let's bring in some outside context that illuminates this perfectly.
Ooh, yes, the tea.
We have intel from a rogue producer, Patrick, who recently spilled an immense amount of tea on a podcast about the behind-the-scenes reality.
I listened to that. It was crazy.
He claims Shannon deeply hates doing the show, resents the production crew, and has massive diva-esque meltdowns when the cameras go down.
Like screaming at producers about the breathalyzer being installed in her car.
Exactly. Yet she fundamentally refuses to quit because she is hopelessly addicted to the fame and utterly dependent on the paycheck to fund these $3,000 Uber bills.
That is so incredibly dark.
It is.
Like, I love the goofy, quirky Shannon. When she trips and falls or mispronounces the word, I laugh.
Sure, the physical comedy.
But to know that she's allegedly screaming at underpaid production assistants and throwing diva fits while her bank account is literally hemorrhaging $10,000 a month in rent for a house she doesn't own.
It completely shifts the vibe.
It really does. It is giving tragedy, is giving gray gardens of Orange County. She is just clinging to the ghost of her former wealth.
It is the inevitable, tragic result of staying on reality television for too long without a viable exit strategy.
It's so true.
Your finances, your identity, and your emotional stability become entirely dependent on maintaining the chaos that pays the bills. You become a prisoner of the persona you created.
Speaking of absolute prisons, we need to escape Shannon's ledger and examine the romantic wasteland that is Emily and Shane's marriage.
Oh, a flawless pivot.
Because if you think Shannon's finances are strained, just wait until you see the complete lack of chemistry at a steakhouse.
It is a fascinating sociological pivot from financial bankruptcy to emotional bankruptcy.
They go to a high-end steakhouse to celebrate their 17th wedding anniversary.
17 years.
And instead of reflecting on nearly 2 decades of partnership, Shane immediately launches into a complaint about the crushing burden of stay-at-home dad burnout.
At an anniversary dinner.
I physically cringed during this entire scene. I was reacting emotionally, viscerally, to the sheer cringe factor of it all.
It was tough to watch.
You were at a steakhouse, the lighting is dim, the leather booths are expensive, and your husband wants a medal for doing the morning school drop-off.
We have to unpack the gender dynamics here because Shane is arguably the first Bravo husband to successfully weaponize the plight of the stay-at-home dad as a primary storyline.
He really is trying to make it his whole personality.
We've watched stay-at-home moms on this network complain about domestic burnout for almost 2 decades, but Shane has cornered the market on male domestic martyrdom.
It's insufferable.
He wants profound recognition and sympathy for executing the basic logistics of parenting his own children while his wife works.
And Emily is having absolutely none of it. She is so over his complaining.
You can see the contempt in her eyes.
So she makes this devastating surgical dig.
Yeah.
She orders a flamin' steak, literally a massive piece of meat served on fire, asserting absolute dominance.
A very alpha move.
And Shane orders chicken Alfredo.
At a high-end steakhouse.
Right. Emily looks at this plate of pasta, looks at her husband on their 17th anniversary, and deadpans. Looks like you ordered a kid's meal.
It was lethal.
A kid's meal. She fully emasculated him over a bowl of heavy cream and noodles.
It is deeply analytical if you look at their communication style. Like, do they even genuinely like each other?
I really don't think they do.
Or are they just trauma bonded by raising their kids and surviving the grueling schedule of Bravo cameras?
Probably the latter.
They seem to communicate entirely through a language of passive-aggressive jabs and thinly veiled contempt. And then after this pasta-based castration, they reach what I suppose they consider a compromise.
Please, no. Don't make me say it.
You have to say it.
Don't make me repeat the exact phrasing used on national television.
We are journalists of the Snark side. We must report the facts.
I hate this so much. Emily says the compromise to fix his burnout is that she's making him a steak at home and giving him sex twice a day. Pre-steak and post-steak sex.
Let it echo. Pre-steak and post-steak sex.
I am going to be physically sick. Who on earth wants post-steak sex?
It's certainly a choice.
Think about the logistics. You are full of heavy red meat, butter, and probably a loaded baked potato.
The lethargy would be intense.
Your body is diverting all its energy to digestion. You want a nap. You want to unbutton your pants, lay on the couch, and watch a true crime documentary.
Not engage in rigorous physical activity.
The phrase pre-steak and post-steak sex is a crime against romance. It sounds like a rigid medical schedule or a bizarre athletic event.
It is entirely depressingly transactional.
So gross.
It's like I provide the expensive protein, I provide the scheduled physical intimacy, and in exchange, you stop complaining on camera about driving the kids to soccer practice.
A literal contract.
It's a contractual obligation disguised as a marriage. But frankly, in a franchise built on layers of fake wealth and fake friendships, their openly transactional dynamic might actually be the most honest relationship on the show right now.
Which is a terrifying thought regarding the state of modern romance.
Let's sprint away from that nightmare and head straight into another deeply awkward social gathering.
Yes, please.
Speaking of awkward couples, we finally meet Carmella's boyfriend, Danny, at her Rancho Santa Fe pool party.
Finally. Carmella graciously invites the ladies to her sprawling Rancho Santa Fe home.
And what's immediately fascinating is that the primary narrative driver for this entire event isn't the aesthetic of the party or the food or even the drama, it's the geography.
The 2-hour commute. You would think these women were asked to travel to the outer rings of Saturn.
They were devastated by the distance.
You're acting like they have to cross the Sahara Desert in a covered wagon with dysentery. Oh my God, it's so far. How will we survive?
It was exhausting.
Babes, you are sitting in the back of a climate-controlled luxury SUV while someone else navigates the freeway. You will survive a drive down the coast.
It reveals the strict geography of power on the show.
Oh, how so?
If your primary storyline revolves around how far of a drive it is to reach your house, you are officially located too far from the nexus of power on this cast.
That makes so much sense.
It's a 2-hour drive, yes. But they act like they've transcended time and space and entered a hostile foreign territory.
And when they finally arrive, after all that complaining, we see Carmella's massive, echoing, double-height foyer.
The foyer was wild.
And what is the centerpiece of this grand architectural entrance? a single, lonely Pilates reformer.
I am absolutely obsessed with the Pilates reformer in the foyer.
It is giving, I bought a house with way too much square footage, and I genuinely do not know how to furnish it.
It's giving empty luxury. It's a liminal space.
It really is.
Yeah.
But the party itself outside is so random and chaotic.
Very eclectic.
She has an ice cream truck, she has these beautiful floating flowers in the pool, and then a literal hot dog cart.
The hot dog cart is actually a masterstroke of casual high-low hosting.
I loved it.
But it instantly triggers an international incident because Ricky, whose palate is apparently highly refined when she isn't eating fast food chicken at an IV clinic, screams that putting ketchup on a hot dog is a culinary crime.
She lost her mind over this.
She demands a modest, single, perfectly straight red line of mustard.
Vicki is out of her mind. Ketchup absolutely belongs on a hot dog.
No, it doesn't.
It is sweet. It perfectly balances the salty, processed nature of the meat. It is a staple of American cuisine.
Only if you were a toddler.
Who eats a dry, sad hot dog with just a harsh line of mustard. It's un-American.
Anyone over the age of 8 eats it with mustard. Ketchup on a hot dog is a culinary crutch for an unrefined palate that demands a sugar rush with every meal.
You are so wrong for this.
Vicki is entirely correct in this specific, highly niche instance. A proper Chicago-style dog would never allow ketchup.
You and Vicki are both absolute monsters. I am ordering you a plain hot dog with mustard so you can choke on the dryness.
I will enjoy it immensely.
But honestly, the ketchup debate isn't even the most painfully awkward part of this party. It's Gina.
Oh, Gina.
Gina acts incredibly, visibly uncomfortable the entire time because Carmella's boyfriend, Danny, allegedly cheated on Carmella 4 years ago.
Yes, let's analyze Gina's terrible, baffling etiquette here. She is a guest in this woman's home.
Right.
A home she just spent 2 hours complaining about driving to. And she is standing in the echoing foyer right next to the Pilates reformer, presumably gossiping about her host's relationship.
It's so classless.
How are you going to whisper conspiratorially about a man's past infidelity while actively eating the hot dogs he provided? The lack of decorum is astounding.
It is so incredibly rude. And of course, the topic of cheating triggers Shannon because everything triggers Shannon. She relates it immediately to her own trauma with David, and she shares this wild, dark story by the pool.
The phone number story.
Yes. She said she found out David was still actively cheating on her long after they supposedly reconciled because she took the mistress's phone number, secretly inputted it into David's phone, and saw that he had it saved under a completely fake name.
It is a dark, brilliant, deeply paranoid piece of detective work by Shannon.
It's genius, honestly.
It perfectly illustrates how infidelity rewires the brain. You stop being a partner and you become a private investigator, constantly scanning for threats.
Exactly.
But placing this heavy, emotionally devastating conversation in the middle of a sunny, brightly lit pool party while people are eating ice cream is incredibly jarring.
Totally jarring. The tonal shifts in this party are giving me absolute whiplash.
It's a roller coaster.
But you know what I genuinely loved? Carmella's use of self-deprecating humor to diffuse the tension.
It was very smart.
She introduces her kids to Vicki and Tamra by smiling and saying, "These are the ones I left behind."
Brilliant.
She is directly, explicitly mocking Vicki's mom-shaming comments from Vegas.
Yeah.
That is exactly how you handle a reality TV read.
It really is.
You own the insult, twist it into a joke, and throw it right back in their face.
It completely deflates Vicki's entire argument. Carmella essentially takes the weapon right out of Vicki's hands by laughing at the absurdity of the accusation.
Vicki had nothing to say back.
It shows a level of emotional intelligence and rhetorical skill that is, frankly, staggering for this particular group of women.
Usually they just throw a drink.
Right. But that emotional intelligence is about to be severely tested because we have to talk about the climax of the episode.
Yes, we do.
The arrival of Heather Dubrow and the battle for the center of attention.
The tension transitions seamlessly from the pool to the patio table the exact second Heather Dubrow arrives.
You could cut it with a knife.
And babe, she brings a pitcher of sangria. But because she is Heather, she pretentiously pronounces it Songria.
Sangria.
Sangria, like it's a prestigious musical event at the Philharmonic.
It is an auditory assault on the Spanish language.
It really is.
She leans so heavily into this hyper-affected pseudo-European pronunciation, completely ignoring the basic phonetic reality of the word.
And the women, already primed for a fight by Tamra's earlier gossip, mock her relentlessly for it.
As they should.
They tear her to absolute shreds over Sangria. But Heller, ever the stubborn queen, refuses to admit she's wrong.
She doubles down entirely.
There's a scene later where she's sitting in the back of her luxury town car, just whispering Songria to herself to validate her own delusion.
Just practicing it.
It is peak comedy. And then the real fight starts at the table. Tamra and Emily finally confront Heather.
The tactical alliance of Tamra and Emily goes on the offensive. They accuse Heather of making everything about herself, of dominating the narrative.
Yes?
Tamra, deploying the absolute classic passive-aggressive housewives maneuver, says, "We love you, but you can be a lot."
So sneaky.
It's the ultimate veiled insult disguised as concern.
Which is so rich coming from Tamra, who literally screams in people's faces for a living.
The lack of self-awareness is stunning.
And Heather just claps back. She doesn't even flinch. She doesn't apologize. She doesn't shrink. She just looks at them and says, "There are people that love how much I am."
It's so good.
I got absolute chills. That is a quote to live by. Put it on a t-shirt.
It's an incredible power move. Heather's stubbornness over Sangria and her total refusal to apologize for taking up space is an analytical masterclass in maintaining dominance.
She won that round completely.
She refuses to let them dictate her volume or her presence. But Emily, sensing the aggressive angle isn't working, tries to pivot the attack to something visual.
Oh, this is wild.
Emily accuses Heather of always walking in front of the group, always needing to lead the pack like a drum major, and always making sure she sits in the exact dead center of the table.
And this accusation leads directly to the editor's masterpiece.
It truly was.
Heather flips the script on Emily, defending herself by saying, "You do the exact same thing."
Which she does.
And the editors, the beautiful, unhinged, overworked editors in a dark room in Los Angeles, they deploy an epic, rapid-fire morphing montage.
A masterpiece of petty editing.
Over 100 different photos showing Emily standing in the dead center of every single group picture over the last few years.
It is a cinematic triumph. We have to appreciate the labor here.
I appreciate it so much.
The sheer amount of archival footage they had to meticulously comb through to create a seamless morphing sequence of Emily Simpson occupying the exact geographical center of every photograph.
It was so fast, just boom, boom, boom.
It completely dismantles Emily's argument in real time for the viewer. It proves that reality TV editing is no longer a passive process. The editors are active participants in the argument.
I was screaming with laughter on my couch. It is peak housewife cinema. It's art.
It really is.
Emery's trying so hard to drag Heather for needing to be the star, and the editors are literally like, "Actually, here are 150 instances of you physically shoving your way to the middle of the frame while smiling."
It perfectly illustrates the concept of psychological projection.
Totally.
They are all aggressively accusing each other of the exact traits they themselves possess. Emily wants to be the center, so she attacks Heather for it.
Yep.
Tamra even tries to recreate Heather's iconic Vegas screaming match by physically leaning in and yelling directly into Heather's ear, which falls completely flat.
Tamra is trying so hard to produce a viral moment, and Heather is just totally unbothered, like, "My ear, please lower your decibels."
He gave her nothing.
It was so incredibly embarrassing for Tamra. The orchestrated takedown completely failed because Heather refused to engage on their level.
Which brings us to the mid-season trailer, because while this specific party ended with a fizzle,
And Vicki leaving early for another party.
which is the absolute peak of OG entitlement, but the rest of the season is about to completely derail based on this trailer.
The trailer drops at the end of the show, and the very first thing we see is Vicki absolutely eating dirt.
A terrible fall.
She falls so hard on the pavement, and she's just laying there on the ground, groaning. "Who pushed me?"
The physical comedy of the fall is matched only by the immediate paranoia of the accusation.
Right. Like, who would push her?
She doesn't assume for a second that she lost her footing or tripped over a crack. Her brain instantly assumes a premeditated assassination attempt by a castmate.
I am genuinely concerned for her knees. She hit that ground with the force of a meteor.
She really did.
And then, out of nowhere, cutting through the chaos, we get the dramatic return of Alexis Bellino in tears.
Jesus Jugs returns.
And behind her, the looming, terrifying shadow of John Jansen.
I will aggressively speculate right now that Tamra definitely pushed Vicki.
Wait, really?
Yes. She saw the season's energy was lagging. She knew she needed a viral clip for the trailer, so she just extended a hand and gave her a firm shove.
That is so twisted, but honestly, I wouldn't put it past her.
As for Alexis Bellino, bringing her back into the mix, specifically to interact with Shannon's ex, is a level of diabolical, Machiavellian casting that only Bravo could architect.
It is going to be an absolute bloodbath. I cannot wait for the destruction.
Mm.
Which means it is time for us to rapidly debate and assign our weekly awards. We have to establish the hierarchy of the week.
Let's do this efficiently. Apply your critical lens. Who is your absolute episode MVP?
It unequivocally has to be the Bravo editors. That Emily Center photo montage was high art. Hang it in the Louvre right next to the Mona Lisa. They told a better story in 10 seconds than the cast did in an hour.
Their archival manipulation was flawless and deeply petty. What about the best confessional moment?
Carmella. When she casually compared Vicki's complete lack of a filter to a 100-year-old Betty White, I died.
It was so funny.
It was the perfect blend of seemingly respectful and deeply, fundamentally insulting.
It was a highly calculated, surgically precise red. Now, analyze the aesthetics. Best dressed.
Emily. I have to give it to her, despite the photo montage humiliation.
The denim.
Yes. Her structured denim look in her confessional was an absolute chef's kiss. The tailoring was impeccable, it fit her perfectly, and it elevated the standard confessional look.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day, and even Emily can find a good tailor. Biggest pot stirrer.
Tamra, obviously.
Yeah.
Exposing Heather's trashy comments just to set up the takedown at the table.
Textbook Tamra.
She knew exactly what she was doing. She wasn't defending Carmella, she wanted blood and screen time.
She is a reality TV sniper. She never misses her mark, even if the collateral damage is her own reputation. And finally, the most chaotic moment of the week.
Vicki aggressively slapping Shannon's ass, and her industrial strength Spanx so hard at the pool party that Shannon literally didn't know what to do with her own body.
It was so loud.
The sound it made. It echoed through the rolling hills of Rancho Santa Fe.
The acoustic resonance of that slap was truly impressive. It sounded like a gunshot.
It really did.
Now let's judge these women's moral compasses. I will present the conflicts, and you will give your raw, emotional ruling on whether they were completely justified, petty but entertaining, a misunderstanding, or peak Housewives delusion.
I am ready. Hit me.
Conflict 1. Tamra and Emily calling Heather aggressive for standing up to Vicki in Vegas.
Peak Housewives delusion. Absolute delusion.
Let's hear the defense.
They sat there in silence and let Vicki openly mom-shame Carmella, and when Heather finally does the right thing and shuts Vicki down, they call her aggressive.
It's hypocritical.
They are just furious that Heather looked like the moral hero, and they look like absolute cowards.
And analytically sound. They are punishing her for highlighting their own inaction. Conflict 2. Vicki getting furious at Terry Dubrow over a 2-year-old podcast comment about his inheritance.
Petty but entertaining.
Extremely petty.
Holding a grudge for 2 entire calendar years over a random podcast comment about money is completely unhinged behavior.
That's unhinged.
But I deeply love watching Vicki spiral over the size of Terry's bank account. It reveals all her insecurity.
It's classic deflection. She attacks his wealth to avoid discussing her own character flaws. Conflict 3. Vicki leaving Carmella's party early because she intentionally double-booked herself.
Completely justified.
Oh, really?
Yes, she is the OG.
Oh.
She has insurance policies to sell. She has imaginary spike proteins to manage. She has places to be.
She is busy.
If you drag a woman 2 hours into the desert to stand in an empty foyer with a hot dog cart, she is legally allowed to leave early.
An OG always knows her worth and always maps out an exit strategy. Moving on to the digital footprint segment.
Ooh, the group chat.
Let's look at the fake text messages this people are definitely sending each other right now in the OC group chat.
Oh, I have one. Shane texting the group chat from the steakhouse bathroom.
Let's hear it.
Does anyone have a contact for the kitchen? I am still starving.
Yeah.
The chicken Alfredo was literally a side dish portion. I am burning thousands of calories dealing with these kids, and Emily is holding the red meat hostage until I perform.
Tragic and likely highly accurate. Here's one from Shannon, sending a frantic SOS text to Vicki.
What does it say?
Vicki, emergency. I accidentally clicked Uber Black SUV instead of UberX. It's a $300 surge charge to get back to Coto de Casa. Do I cancel and walk down the highway or put it on the credit card? Please check my budget spreadsheet and advise.
That is so sad, but so true. And Heather sending a crisp, professionally edited voice memo to the entire cast.
A voice memo, of course.
Hello, ladies. It has come to my attention that multiple people in this group are consistently mispronouncing basic phonetic structures. I have attached a PDF and an audio guide on the correct European enunciation of Songria. Please review before our next gathering so we don't embarrass ourselves in public.
Terrifyingly accurate to her brand. Finally, it is time for our boldest predictions for next week in the OC.
Okay, let's do it.
Which friendship is about to permanently implode?
Emily and Heather. That photo montage was the final nail in the coffin.
You think Emily will retaliate?
Emily is going to watch this footage back, see how badly she got owned by Heather and the editors, and she is going to scorch the earth in retaliation.
Who is secretly hoarding receipts?
Emily. She is an attorney, she remembers absolutely everything, and she has Heather's number. She is quietly building a dossier of every slight and mispronunciation right now.
Where does the next explosive dinner happen?
The exact second Alexis Bellino arrives at whatever restaurant they're at. She's going to walk in, and Shannon is going to shatter a wine glass, throw a bread plate, and it is going to be the absolute end of days.
Who delivers the next iconic read?
Carmella.
Interesting choice.
She is quietly observing everyone's deep-seated flaws, and she is going to strike with a smiling insult when they least expect it.
And give me one completely ridiculous prediction that somehow in this twisted universe actually feels possible.
Shane Simpson successfully pitches himself to Bravo and gets cast on the Valley as a stay-at-home dad seeking revenge against his working wife.
Oh my God.
He crosses entire franchise lines just to complain about folding laundry on camera.
The crossover event no one asked for, but we would all inevitably watch out of morbid curiosity.
Exactly.
We have dissected the fake spike proteins, the faux Spanish pronunciations, and the staggering financial ruin. Now we turn this chaotic energy over to you.
Snark Squad, you know we desperately need you to weigh in on all of this. We are coming in hot with the questions this week.
Please answer them.
Are you fiercely team fresh flowers? Or are you team save the money and avoid the gray dust of the silk peonies?
Choose wisely.
Is physical wax-sealed mail actually making a comeback? Or is it just a cry for attention? And critically, what is the absolute best Temu find you've ever bought before it turned your skin green?
We require detailed analytical answers, proper punctuation, and absolutely no wax seals on your responses.
Stay shady, stay fancy, and we'll see you on the Snark side.
Stay shady, stay fancy, and we'll see you on the Snark side.